ready to embarrass themselves with such outrageous questions. That I find truly remarkable. Yeah.
I feel like that as a commentator all the time. Just with the suggestions that I come up with, and then the bar shoots right down, and that is a tough moment.
But I think
No, but it's not an embarrassment to suggest a chess move that is wrong. Even players make that. But to ask a player, for example, a question, that is very unpleasant for him to hear, that is a true embarrassment, I think. When you are ready for people to see you, maybe for sake of journalism or whatever, appear as an unpleasant human being, and you sacrifice that for sake of journalism, that I think is true bravery. Yeah.
True bravery.
You're labeling someone unnecessarily. So yeah.
Right. But Anish, would you say that the World Championship match is a little bit more brutal because of these press conferences? Because generally when you have lost or you have had a bad game, you can just go back. But because these press conferences are a must, it makes this World Championship journey a little bit more tough for the players.
Yeah, I don't think the press conference is the main thing, but it's an extra hurdle for sure, because you know that you are being watched and judged, and press conference is a reminder of that, a constant reminder that yes, it is indeed the case. What you are worried about is indeed happening. But I think that it can really depend a lot on the way people are. For example, this year already we have Magnus Carlsen recaps, which is not the usual thing, right? Usually Carlsen playing. And now he's doing recaps, and he gives his thoughts every day. And he has, for example, a massive influence on people, yeah? So if Carlsen says that it was a good game, for example, 99% of the chess world will think it's a good game. If Carlsen says that it was difficult to win that position, 99% of the world will think it's difficult to win that position. Because his judgment is actually worth a lot more than the engine, yeah? Ultimately. He's ultimately the best player in the world.
Right.
At the very least used to be, but that probably still is the case. So people like him and other also respected commentators, I think they can really shape the narrative around it. And I think it's a lot is in their power as well. So I think that it could also be a very pleasant experience for the players, if suddenly the media around them shapes it as something great. I'm sure, back in the Talbot winning days, they were all in awe, and press conferences, I don't know if they had them, but they would ask them like, how did you find this incredible idea? And Talbot would be like, I was thinking here about, this. And then suddenly it occurred to me that you can sacrifice the pawn and don't go for repetition, go back queen e6 and b3. And look at this king on h7, like with my game against Nihal Sarin, So all these kind of nice things. All these nice things, I'm sure they were admiring the players, and the press conferences were only strengthening that feeling, yeah? Because what you have is a celebration of actually the best players in the world fighting for who is the best one. These are the two biggest heroes of chess, This is Batman versus Superman playing. And everybody's celebrating that, and press conferences was enhancing that before as well, I assume. Yeah. So it was a celebration, and it would be like, a birthday party, and then there's a toast for you, yeah? It's like a highlight of the birthday party. Yeah. But of course now, if you see that all very negatively, and you see that as something with a lot of pressure and negative thinking, and then you see the press conference as a torture, then yes, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Also, the engine makes it really tough at the press conference, because you come in with this approach that everyone knows more about the game than you do, while in the past that was not the case.